share a little bit of what the kids have done.
Okay.
We are live.
We are live for day 4 of our online DigCit Summit. I happen to be here on location at White Oaks Independent School with an incredible group of 4th grade students, if we want to just twirl this around.
I'll be careful.
And joining us right now, we've got a classroom. We're waiting for some classrooms to join us, but we've got our classroom in Iowa joining us. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Okay, hold on. Scoot back a little bit.
Not know why.
Okay, it looks like Louisiana has just joined us as well. So we are live for the Upstander brand. And it looks like another classroom from Iowa, Mrs. Campbell.
Okay, just hush, 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 hush.
So if you can hear us, Upstander brand in Louisiana, we can see your ceiling and you're muted. But right now we've got a classroom here live in Texas. You want to say what grade you are for the ones that just joined? And would you like to let them know what we've been doing this morning?
One person. We
One
need a
person.
volunteer.
Right here.
We've been doing
Unmute. Can y'all hear us?
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
No.
We
Okay, we're
can
gonna
hear
mute
you.
again. She said she could,
Yeah.
but I cannot hear y'all.
Okay. All right. Do you want to share a little
Go
bit
ahead.
about what you've been creating?
We've been using Augmented Reality. And what was the name of the app?
3D Bear.
And what are we going to be ultimately trying to do with 3D Bear?
Trying to make stuff.
Yeah, we're going to redesign. We're going to solve some problems, right?
Do you want me to show some of the problems that they've been solving?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so here is some of the designs that have been created in the class in the last few minutes. We're seeing some kids even holding up some technology holding in their hand, which was kind of cool. And then we also see, I love this, adding some real plants into the space. You know what, surprisingly, I see a lot of kids desiring to have real plants, real floral arrangements. They really enjoy having that in their classroom. As well as, I mean, look at that. I mean, so many kids are adding in the floral designs. I think that that is a desire to bring the outside in, right? And then we also have some kids that have added in, oh, look, you want to maybe add in a school bus into your classroom. So that's fun.
Do you have the one where it's like a jungle gym? Because I felt like that was really great when we were talking about balance. So we've been talking about the new competencies for digital citizenship. And one of them obviously is balanced. I felt like that one. Oh, it's that one right there.
Which one?
With the red.
This right here?
I think so. No, maybe it's not. But they're the bouncy balls in the back.
Oh, here. Well, that one was a bus.
Is there any way for you to share this link with her?
And then look at that, having a little like setup station for that student with some drawers to be able to work in. That's a great idea. Some really cool stuff that were designed. Love to see all these great designs by the students. Oh, look at that. They want an interactive board for them to be able to write on. It could be something that is just a dry erase board that they're using in their classroom. So love to see the designs that they're coming up with. I know we'll be moving around the campus, but lots of great stuff that they're building right now. Maybe even bringing in some miniatures into their classroom to explore in their makerspace. And we are excited to see what else they create.
And we also have Ellie the elephant joining us from Scotland. She's here on location in Texas. So we are now going to bring it over to our Upstander brand and our 2 other classrooms in Iowa. And we'll probably, I know that we are going to have a transition with classes. So we might go when you can't see our screen, it's just that we're in the middle of transitions and we'll be jumping in and out. But out of the 3 classrooms starting us out for our live 4th day for our DigCit Summit, which classroom are we starting with?
Upstandard brand, if that's okay.
Okay, you got it. I'm going to put the spotlight on you.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hi everyone, we are
No, go ahead.
Hi everyone, we are the Upstander brand and we like to spread positivity in our community. First, we are going to just give you an idea of what we do and how we do that. So, welcome, Miss Bridgefield,
Miss Sarah. And
Miss Sarah, and Miss Diane.
So go. Okay, go ahead. The music. Go ahead.
So you can hear our music playing. That's music that we made. He plays piano and I do most of the music on the computer. And we make our music to spread the messages about the Upstander brand. And recently we made a song about Dot Day based off of the Dot Day, the Dot book.
Yeah, the Dot book, we try to incorporate the messages that the Upstander brand's trying to spread through our lyrics, and the music is just an engaging way to get everyone aware of what's going on. And with the Dot Day song, we related it to the Dot Day book about spreading creativity and being open in your community. So it's just an easy way to spread the messages because people like music.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. We're two 8th grade students from the Upstander brand, and we're just here to introduce our business. We're so excited to be here at the Digital Summit. It's just a way to collaborate all of our ideas. Today we'll have a few of our members from the Upstander brand just talk about different aspects of our business. And then we've created a Padlet to just for you all to put your ideas, suggestions, and everything else. And the link for that is http.
The Padlet address is http at the bottom.
The Padlet, http bit.ly/Upstander brand.
Next up, we will have 4 Upstanders from our thing who will just, from the Upstander brand, who are going to talk to you about, next up we have Miss Diane Bridgefield.
So Mary Alice, it's so good to see everybody. This is like what happens with live television. We practice, we have a script. I'm trying to figure out how we can share the screen so you guys see the presentation. So Mary Alice, if you could help us with that, that'd be great. And then we want to invite, we are co-presenting with 2 other wonderful classes. There's a classroom, 5th grade classroom and a 3rd grade classroom. So next, Mary Alice, if you want to switch over to Bridgeview, which is going to be Diane. Her Twitter handle is Fight for Library. They're wonderful and they're going to share, they're going to just introduce themselves. And then from there, it's going to be a third grade leaders, and they're going to share too. Okay, so Mary Alice, I'm trying to figure out how to share that PowerPoint that we had. So if you could help with that, that's great. This is, but you know what? So much fun is this is live television. We are ready. We are ready to go, but technology is not working. So if you could help us with that, that'd be great. And then Bridgeview 5th graders with Diane is up next.
That's fantastic. Okay, the spotlight has been changed. You want to introduce yourselves, where you're from? We can't hear you. Jessica, can you hear them? No, let me see if I can.
What kind of things would you want to add in there? In the fourth graders plan that. Oh.
Let's see if that helps. Okay, let's try again.
You know what? We have a nature center that's right back behind here. It was built to have a beautiful fountain so that we could fish and frogs and things like that. Oh, what mapping we need to see that come to life.
Let's see. I still, on this end, can't hear your classroom. So let's see. Mrs. Campbell, if your classroom,
You know when you plan it, it's there, right? You just go around.
you're not on mute.
Look, here's what we're doing. We are having
Oh.
some technical difficulties, so we're trying to work around those.
Perfect, because guess what? This is the perfect day to
Yeah.
demonstrate that even though we might have tech difficulties, this is worth it because this is what we have to demonstrate for classrooms, that sometimes tech difficulties happen and we work through them. This is problem solving.
And we've probably had 10 different apps so far. I'm gonna log off here. Hang on.
And I'm going to jump in, Mary Alice and Jamie, y'all just said exactly. So the teachers from the 5th grade and the 3rd grade classroom have been talking to us and communicating with us. I'm so excited to hear from them. And like you just said, this is us modeling real life problem solving. So if you need us to talk about engagement, we can kind of go to the next slide.
Was muted, that's why.
Share.
No,
Okay,
no,
you
no,
got
don't do it.
Can we have a musical interlude? Why don't we have some more Upstander brand music as we're figuring out, is that okay? Or we can go to Miss Bice's class, which is 3rd grade. Whichever works. You want to put some musical until stuff? Okay.
Because you're not picking up my speaker. Hang on.
Well, right now, as I can tell that U for the Upstander brand, I can see that logo and I know it well.
While we're waiting, I'll talk about our social media platforms. We have Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and they're all are created by us, and they just focus on different upstanders. Like we have quotes of the day, and that's just a way to engage our followers and keep them updated on what we're doing in the upstander brand.
Wonderful.
So while we're waiting, oh wait, did I hear now?
No, I said wonderful.
Okay, because while we're waiting, Ella, do you want to come talk about what an upstander is? Come on, let's go talk about what an upstander is. Come on, let's go.
The sound thing in here?
I was trying not to
in here?
I want this to be all straight around,
An upstander is someone who
There you go.
helps and is kind and shows other people and gives people of what to do whenever you do normally.
And are there upstanders? Because we want to celebrate upstanders locally and globally. So there are upstanders locally, or there are upstanders locally? Okay, do we know class of one upstander locally? Do we remember an upstander locally who helped with the Baton Rouge bus boycott?
Sarah,
TJ.
every time you get it, it's gonna ding over them.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Okay. So who is TJ Jemison?
He helped with the bus boycott down here in Louisiana, which is one of our upstanders.
Great. Perfect. Do you want to come talk a little bit more about the music? What this music is? Sharon, this is something that you create with your own talent.
The back now it's gonna be like more of a complex. I'll be more and then I don't want her disturbing what happened here. So that way, this may not be shown, and you can always pick it up here to go temporarily, but this will be something that she'll be set up. Mary Alice, we're gonna move
Okay.
you to do,
FL Studio.
we just.
You have to buy it. You have to buy it. Cool. And it's all about beats, right? So we have a keyboard. I'll pan over a little bit. We have a keyboard that one of our musicians plays. Am I panning the right way? Yeah. We have a keyboard that one of our musicians plays. And then we have this computer stuff as well. So that's great. That's fabulous. Jamie and Mary Alice, do we want to switch to Miss Vice? Thank you so much for being such a leader. Jamie and Mary Alice, do we want to switch to Miss Vice or? Okay. Well, that's okay. We're still here. This is live television.
Okay.
Hi.
Have we gone to the right classroom?
Is that Miss Vice's class?
This is Mrs. Vice's class.
Perfect.
We've had a great experience in problem solving and perseverance and tenacity. And we're pretty proud of ourselves right now. But can we just have a little bit of a conversation about kind of our journey, our DigCit journey? Is that okay with everybody? Give us a thumbs up. Yes?
That sounds fantastic.
Okay, well, we have spent a lot of time in our district with the 5 DigCit words. We love those, and I'm going to see if everybody, every 2 friends, can help us with this. We have balance, right? Balance, alert, inclusive, informed, engaged. And we've worked hard to memorize those because we think those are just great life words. And so one of the things that my 3rd grade friends here in Mrs. Vice's class have spent a lot of time on is we believe technology is great and we love using technology, but that whole word balance, sometimes we need to take our 2 hands and unplug. So how many of you would agree with us that sometimes it's good to unplug? I'd love to see from our other friends in the class. And it's safe unplug. Yeah, that's a healthy thing to do, right? Raise your hand if you think it's healthy to unplug. Oh, awesome. So what we've done is we talked a little bit about why that matters and what we can do when we unplug. So my 3rd grade friends have a couple ideas and thoughts that they would like to share with you about the power of unplugging. So who's going to go first, Mrs. Vice? Sarah, go ahead. Oh, nice and loud, Sarah.
DigCit Summit.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, why would you unplug? What happens when you unplug? When your hands are free.
When your hands are free, what can you do? Kendall.
Attention. When I talk, can you walk out and come over?
You can talk to your family and friends. Exactly. What else?
Kaden.
You can recognize what's happening around the world and not a device.
Oh, we spent a lot of time on that word recognize. Because when I recognize, my eyes aren't looking, show me boys and girls, where are my eyes looking? They're not looking where? They're not looking down, they're looking what? Out and around, and I can notice what's happening. And once I notice what's happening around me, what else am I able to do? Will?
You're able to make new friends.
I can make new friends because I actually see people around me, don't I? What else can I do?
Mary Kate.
Oh, I would love to see from our other boys and girls across. How many of you think that's important, that we are paying attention to what's around us? We get to make new friends, and then we can support those new friends. Oh, with DigCit Commit, we just believe in the power of being a great human being, and sometimes we need to support our friends, right? So we've also, later in the conversation, we do have some stories to share about some changes that we've made because of our DigCit Commit. But Mary Alice, anything else that you want to add there? Or you have any questions for our boys and girls, or we can move on to our Bridgeview friends?
You know, I'm loving the fact that you have all made a commitment to digital citizenship, and that you are able to take those 5 competencies and put them into your own words, and that you're taking words and putting them into action. And so I want to actually commend your classroom as well as all of the classrooms that are joining right now, because at the beginning of every one of this is day 4, we've had a few technical difficulties, but guess what? No one gave up. Everybody persevered and worked through it. And the fact that we are able to connect and collaborate and learn together right now is the most amazing thing. So I have a really happy heart kicking off day 4 with all of you. And the only thing that you did not get to see is that while we're here, and I'll put my video on, we are in the middle of a class change, but we were just working with 3D Bear, which is augmented reality. And the students here were solving problems and redesigning their environment. And so I love that, today, the whole week, it's about taking these ideas, putting them into action. And if there's anything else that I can share for all of the classrooms about DigCit Commit, right now, there is a student contest going on, right? There is a contest. If you go to digcitcommit.org, right now until December the 1st, this contest is looking for students that take DigCit Commit, put it into action. The winners will be announced. There is a virtual DigCit Commit virtual Congress happening February 11th and 12th. So I definitely want everybody to mark those dates down in your calendar, because the winners will be announced. And then the winners actually are going to be invited to ISTE to present. And how great would it be if one of the classrooms that took a risk during DigCit Week, because DigCit Week, people say, oh, it's got digital citizenship needs to be, not just a week. Absolutely, it's got to go beyond a week. But this is our opportunity this week to start these critical conversations and put them into action starting this week. And I want to invite everyone, all of the classrooms, whether you're joining us as a panelist right now or you're joining us live, to go to digcitcommit.org, sign up, make your commitment to digital citizenship, and have your classroom by December the 1st, submit something as another opportunity to be fully engaged.
That sounds like an awesome idea. We are excited about that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. Now, you tell me for the spotlight where you would like me to go, where we should go next.
We kind of want to hear from our Bridgeview friends.
Which friends?
Our Bridgeview Elementary friends in LeClaire, Iowa.
That are standing up? Okay, you got it.
Okay, what? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
We can hear you.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're not going to bother to introduce ourselves. We're just going to talk about the 5 words plus 2 that we are going to be focusing on this year. So we're going to have kids step up to the mic and talk. These are the ISTE words, and the 2 that we've added that we think are important.
What the word alert means to me. Alert is a very big word. It could mean a lot of things. Alert could be a friendly reminder of online dangers. Alert could also mean making sure your friends are staying off of dangerous games. One final thing the word alert means to me is to always be watchful of online threats such as cyberbullying. In conclusion, stay alert of all dangers. Balance. Balance means to make decisions about technology, like to not be on your technology. My mom lets me be on my technology and stuff for 24 hours, so I play outside. Thank you for listening. Informed. I chose informed because it's easy to do, and it's important because you need to make sure what you see online is true and that the creators of the websites are experts on what the website says. Inclusive. I chose inclusive because I want to teach kids how to be safe and how to teach them what to do to be safe. I did engaged. Being engaged is important so you get to know your audience and what you can do to help the other people make this a safe digital world. We added the number 13 because you should be aware of who might be out there on the internet. 13 is not just the number, it's the law. You need to be 13 to do Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on. 13 is so important because it's so dangerous for the younger kids. I chose 13 because if you do certain games that you shouldn't be on, yet there can be some bad stuff on the internet. It's important because the internet can have good and bad. Not everything on the internet is true. I chose 13 because I think 13 is an important number and age to be on Snapchat, Instagram, or TikTok. 13 is a big rule in digital citizenship. We also added unplug because kids are on technology too much and not getting sleep, or they're addicted to technology. They aren't being active or getting outside enough. Kids are getting angry at video games because they don't get what they want. I chose unplug because I think it's a big part in being a digital leader. Unplug means you unplug from your device and do something else you enjoy. When I unplug, I like to bake or write letters to my friend in California. A few ideas we have to share are we can make a website and post things about the words so anyone can see it. Another idea we have is to do announcements on the school intercom system. All the announcements, we can do one word a month to give little reminders every once in a while. Our last idea is to make posters about digital citizenship throughout our school to keep everyone safe online or on technology.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. Next, we would like to talk about,
If it's okay.
we'd like to talk about the ISTE standards, which we use in our class. In our classroom,
Yeah, I'll just be listening.
ISTE standards, we keep going. Okay. In our classroom, we pay attention to ISTE standards. We like to use global collaboration, become digital citizens, innovative designers, empowered learners, creative communicators, knowledge constructors, and computational thinkers. We have a poster that we follow usually in our class. And you can tell us your ideas about what you think of the ISTE standards on our Padlet, which this is the link to it. So you can go and share your ideas so we can engage together our community. Oh, okay. Next we will introduce all of our departments. Okay. In the Upstander brand, to organize the way we work, we use departments. We have PR and marketing, engineering, budget, and creative. And we use our task board to organize how we work. Next up, we're going to talk about how you can be an Upstander.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can be an upstander by just simply fighting for what you believe in, trusting your gut. That's what being the upstander is about. Following your own path, trusting your heart. And sorry, I'm a little nervous.
You're fine. You're fine.
He,
Trust your heart and won't be wrong.
right, and I think he just modeled some vulnerability. Again, what did you just say? You just said you were what? A little nervous. Our friends at Bridgeview, our 5th grade and our 3rd grade friends and people live, think to yourself, have you ever been nervous? Have you ever been able to like face something that you're afraid of? And I think this is a great way that he's modeling for us that even if you are afraid of these things, like you can just go ahead and you do it and you trust yourself enough. So thank you so much for being vulnerable. I appreciate it. What an upstander you are to be vulnerable.
Just fight it out.
Just fight it out. That's awesome. But fight in a good way, not in a bad way, right? And
Fight
we
the
also
right fight.
we also talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. Does somebody want to come share quickly about the Sustainable Development Goals? And you actually write the newsletter, so share a little bit about that as well.
I am in charge of writing the newsletter, which basically gets the word out about how you can, that educates you on maybe a nonprofit organization or something in the world that you wouldn't know much about that helps to inspire you to be a better person. And then a way that you can engage with your community. And so the SDGs fit into this because the United Nations issued these as goals that we should set for ourselves to, well, we should set for the world to accomplish by, I think 2030 is the goal. And it's things such as ending poverty and gender equality and clean water for all, and just general good things that we should aim for to complete and to accomplish.
Don't forget, with the Upstander brand, we have 3 main goals where we educate our community, inspire them to be an upstander and change the community, and engage them in doing that. Next, we will move over to Miss Vice's class, and so she can tell us about how her class engages.
And I cannot underscore this enough. All this music is done by us. Everything is done by us. And so I cannot wait to hear about from our friends from Ms. Vice's class. So take it away.
Before you share our next thing, I just want to say already we're learning and growing from you. We have like a list going on from all of you of like ideas that we want to now incorporate into our next steps. So I just want to say thank you. You've given us already a bunch of stuff because we too are working next on some UN sustainable goals. Our kids don't know all the details yet, so it's a little bit of a secret.
Thank you so much.
Say too much, but we're excited about that. So thank you. Did you want us to share our next steps, our power of change? Let's do our power of change. How about that?
That'd be great.
Okay, I'm gonna have Zach stand up. We've talked a lot about our personal stories, and we believe in the power of personal stories and how our individual stories help inspire and encourage other people. And we chose Zach's story yesterday when we were kind of preparing for today. And so I'm gonna hope Zach speaks nice and loud and clear so everyone can hear your powerful story of change. Okay, you wanna talk to your friends across the United States? Nice and loud?
So my change is after we did DigCit and after a while, I started to play on my iPad less and played with my toys more. So now I am more available to help in my family.
One of the things about Zach's story that struck all of us and touched our hearts was not only that he was playing less on his device, but it was his word available. That when he was on his device less, he was available for his family and friends. And we just felt that really got to the human spirit and just why we're here as human beings to help and support one another. And part of that's being available. So isn't that a great word to use? Boys and girls, what do you think about that word available? I'd love to hear what somebody else in one of our other locations says about that word.
Thank you so much. Next, we're going to talk about...
Wait. Say, we can't hear them. Say, we couldn't hear you.
We couldn't hear you because we're having technical difficulties.
We don't want to interrupt. Are y'all finished?
You don't want to interrupt. Are y'all finished? Just
Yep,
y'all could
that's
stand
good.
up or nod your head if you're finished. Okay, thank you. Next, we would like to talk about the call to action. We'll go to the Bridgeview fifth graders and we'll see what they do to call their community to action.
Here at Bridgeview, we've already talked about what our action steps are going to be, but we do look forward to completing our mission this year and giving you feedback next year at the next DigCit Summit.
Okay, go ahead.
That's the part of being imperfect. You just have to go along with the flow. While I'm up here, we have a Padlet that we created, and I know one of the classrooms mentioned that you have a few ideas or questions. The link is http://bit.ly/upstanderbrand. And we would really like you to just visit it because it helps us to see what we can work on and what you gain from this summit.
Do the next one. Who's the next one?
It doesn't matter.
Next, we'll just go to Ms. Vice's class and they can talk about how they have call to action and the changes after the DigCit conversation.
Okay, Noah, you want to stand
Okay,
up?
turn it down a little bit.
Can somebody maybe in Miss White's class or if you can or cannot hear, give us a thumbs up or something near the computer so we at least have an idea if you're able to hear us. You want to stand up? Come into the camera a little bit, Noah. You're a little bit out. Okay. Nice job. Nice and loud and clear.
My change was that I saw something inappropriate, so I told my parents about what I saw. My parents told me to never to go on the app again, and I never did again because a good digital citizen has to know what is safe and not safe.
Oh, nice job. So I think Noah exemplified a couple things there. Not only was he alert, but he was informing his parents and just very honest. And we talk a lot about telling trusted adults when we see something or we get to a site that we shouldn't, makes us uncomfortable or anything. So that was another great change. So thank you. We'll pass the mic on to the next location.
Okay, all right, Addison, go ahead and talk about our call to action.
Yes, sir.
Make sure Miss Vice's class, make sure the other
Okay, guys, this is Jamie in the background here and helping you guys all get connected. It sounds like Margaret is having a hard time hearing on her end. Are you good now?
Yeah, now we got it.
Just make sure that all just make sure it's safe before we talk about our call. Before we talk about ourselves, we would like to make sure that y'all have shared all the information that you want to share because this is an important thing that we're doing so that way we can inspire our community to just be better as a whole. So we want to make sure that y'all got all of the things that you want to say out. All good? Okay.
And then third graders.
And then third graders, are y'all, have y'all said everything you want to say? Is there anything more? All right. So as the Upstander brand, we have many things that we do. And one of our main three things is to engage our community, and that's our call to action. And we'll have several of our fellow Upstanders come and talk to you about how we do that and what we do in our community. No.
Okay, so we are two members of the Upstander brand that have worked on one of our most recent products that we have created. So in the past year, we've had the idea of creating a board game for the Upstander brand that shows the journey of an Upstander. This idea is finally coming together. The game gives you questions that you have to answer based on your knowledge of being an Upstander. You can purchase one for $12 on our website, theupstanderbrand.com.
Every board game purchase comes with 4 player tokens, 4 Upstander brand wristbands, 4 STG tokens, 2 Upstander brand keychains, 1 deck of anti-bullying, and 1 deck of Upstander brand cards. The game is called The Journey of the Upstander, and if you want to explore other topics like the Holocaust, courage during the Civil War, courage during civil rights, and more, you can go and buy a pack for $3. We have officially launched our board game today on our website, upstanderbrand.com. So get your board game now.
So this is the game board that we're talking about. We have 4 player tokens that have been 3D printed by our engineering department. Then we have the SDGs tokens. Then we have
wristbands.
The 4 wristbands that come with it. We have the cards here, and yes, that's our Upstander brand board.
And talk about the packaging. Why is it in an envelope?
So teachers can store it easier, so it won't be this big box.
And our envelope was designed by our Upstanders. So all of this we have created from scratch to inspire our community.
And how much does it cost?
$12
on our website. All right, go ahead.
Oh, on our website, www.theupstanderbrand.com.
Going back to the ISTE standards and sustainable development goals, ISTE standards and sustainable development goals are used throughout all departments of the Upstander brand, and we are members of the music department. And so whenever we're writing our lyrics for the songs and producing the beats, we always keep the ISTE standards in mind. Those are always the foundations because ISTE standards are all technology, and so technology is constantly growing, so we need to keep those important.
And because they're mostly technology based and Upstander brand is mostly technology based, it really helps us whenever we're writing lyrics or whenever we're writing newsletters or whenever we're making posts.
I know I already mentioned about our social media platforms, but you can go follow us. All of our account names is at the Upstander brand. It's on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And right now we have a person that can come and talk about what we do on Twitter. Alexis.
What we do on all of our platforms, in TikTok, we create videos that include our merchandise and just tell you about the things that you can get to show you're an Upstander. And then on our Twitter and Instagram, we send out posts that involve daily quotes, or sometimes we'll do competitions and just different things to engage our community in being Upstanders and involving themselves with the Upstander brand.
Another thing that another type of post that we create is memes that we post on our Instagram that are a hidden way of expressing how to be an Upstander, but in like a funny way. Not like making fun of it, but like actually giving information.
And we're gonna start posting those memes on the Upstander brand's Instagram, which is at Upstander brand. And we mostly make the memes, but there's some other people who help out with them too. And like she said, they're a way to show, it's a funny way to show how to be an Upstander or what Upstanders do.
Since we were talking about social media, we just wanted to share that we also have a Twitter. And one of our posts on Twitter, because we post something every day, whether it's an Upstander of the day or just something inspirational, is to be kind for everyone you meet, despite the data that you know nothing about. And we think that this is important in everyday life.
Don't forget that we have a Padlet that you can comment on.
And thank you so much to the people that have commented on our Padlet. It really helps us with your feedback.
So far we've only had one comment, but it's
That's
just,
okay.
We're getting there.
but it's saying how they enjoy our music and that it's very creative and it's great. Don't forget to post.
Just going back to our board game, we've worked really hard on this, and we're excited that we now get to share it with our community, and they get to not only be an upstander in their community, but, you know, like play a game where they're showing their upstander knowledge. Back to our social media stuff, like I said, we have a TikTok, and we'll do things like show our merchandise. Like, we have all sorts of different awesome colored wristbands you can purchase on our website. And then we're gonna do one that's showing our game board really soon. And we have all these different tokens that you can get, put on your IDs or keychains, and just express your true upstander.
Just as a reminder of what an upstander is, it's a person who stands up for others no matter what and just always is like a kind person and is looking to better people's lives, even if they aren't like best of friends. They still, no matter what, want to stand up for other people and what's right.
Now there are other friends.
Sorry?
There are other friends. Our other friends.
And now we would like to go back to our other friends like Miss Vice's class and our bridge view, and so they can just recap everything they know and have told you, so that way you can just suck it all in and enjoy it.
I think we're gonna say thank you for everyone today. I appreciate everything. So on the count of three, we're just gonna say thank you to all of our new friends. We appreciate you all, and we're grateful for everything we've learned, and happy DigCit week. So 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great job, class.
Thank you so much. I want to also say that we have learned so much from y'all on how to better engage our community and the ISTE standards and all sorts of the things that you've talked about. We've just learned so much from y'all too.
And you guys really inspired us because it's great to see children so like young, not saying y'all are young, but like who are just being the true spirit of an upstander. And I know that y'all are going to make a difference in the world, and I'm so excited to see that.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Great job, Upstander brand.
And the school, the principal was like, all with augmented reality. We need to get flowers in front of our school. So we are going to have.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and spotlight this video. So I am covering for Dr. Curran right now because she's actually presenting to a group of third graders here live in Texas. So I stepped in for her and she has been presenting, and then we're going to swap places and I'm going to go do augmented and virtual reality with the classrooms. And she's going to come back and join in with the group to introduce the next group, the group that's leaving. But this would also be a good time if anybody has any questions to collaborate across the board. I know we have Michael Drezick joining in, Amy's in here, Jessica's in here, Diane's in here, and I know we have some future classes that are going to be presenting here in the next hour. But feel free, this is the time to collaborate. And then I'm also going to switch over. Mary Alice is going, okay, do I need to leave? Yes, you need to come over here. So give me a second, and I'm going to switch out with her right now. Okay, it's Mary Alice, and I am back. We are, I can kind of show, we are, let's see if I can do it this way. We are here in Texas, and right now I'm kind of dividing and conquering with Jamie Donnelly. And we are working, this is a class, we had fourth graders, and now we have a group of third graders. And we are bringing emerging technology. We're using 3D Bear today to solve some problems and create some solutions. And so we've just switched. Jamie was on while I was just presenting. I was just sharing with this new group about the DigCit commit and the 5 new competencies. And now we're going to put it into action. Jamie will just switch. And now I'm back. And I know that we're going to be getting ready for this next transition, which is going to be our next session of classes. So I'm sorry that I missed the rest of the Upstandard brand in our 2 classrooms in Iowa, but I will definitely, most definitely go back and watch the recording. So let me just catch up here. I see that we have a classroom in Connecticut that might not have been on the schedule for this time, but absolutely, I mean, this week has been about being flexible and modeling, taking some risks, trying out some new things, problem solving. So I know that our next group is getting ready to come on, but Mrs. Bedford, if you wanted to jump on now, you certainly can. Oh, there you are. Wonderful.
Hi.
Hi. So we are being super digital citizens. We have been learning about digital citizenship and all different rules to follow when we travel online. And one of our most important rules when we travel online is what?
Don't share our identity.
Don't share our identity. So right now you can see me, but we are not going to share our identity, but we love to share some rules we've been learning about. So who else would like to share an identity, a rule for digital citizenship that we have been talking about? Let me see if I can change this up a little bit. All right.
And just so that you know, as we are progressing, we will have other classrooms jumping in. I can see Michael Drezick is here from Lakeshore Central. We'll be sharing some Buncee, and then I know the Buncee team, and we've got another classroom from Louisiana, and I know that the Upstanders are still on. So we'll just keep on being flexible and jumping back and forth.
Go ahead, Justin.
Also, if you're on your computer, never like open a website that's not secure, because people can hack your account. You should never share your birth date, password, and if you have a picture, you should cover up your face, like put sunglasses on, or yeah, make a hat, so they can't see your face.
So, also what you want to do, so I know a lot of people like to go on Fortnite and that stuff, and there's a lot of people out there that like to ask, hey, what's your name? How old are you? What times are you open? What times do you want to go on Fortnite? Don't explain that. Don't explain that to them, because here's the thing, if you do explain that to them, they're because you never know if they're going to be trying to hack you, trying to say stuff to you, trying to copy you. So that's why you always want to be insecure and never say stuff.
So we're learning a lot about the little rules of posting and sharing online.
Well, since we know about, this is a new session, I just would like to bring it up again about digcitcommit.org. And I invite anybody that's joining us as our classroom panelists, our Classroom Connections right now, or anybody who's joining us virtually. I can tell you that we are close to 200,000 students registered from this morning. It was 41 states. I hope that we actually get those 9 more states from 37 countries. So this is something that, you know, is about all students in all classrooms, in all school communities everywhere. But that DigCit commit, we've got a contest happening. And I really hope that for DigCit Week, these ideas we bring into action. And there is a student challenge happening right now. And how great would it be that some of these ideas this week are part of this contest for DigCit Commit. And so go to digcitcommit.org. I know that we've got our other 2 classrooms that are on. So you tell me where we should begin, and I'll put some spotlights and we'll just continue learning together. Okay, our other 2 classrooms are muted, so you'll have to unmute yourself.
I was just going to let those other classrooms jump in because they're there and ready, and I know we were waiting for a few of the Team Buncee folks to get on here. Yep.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Oh, I'm so excited. Will you let us know where you're joining us from?
We're actually in Louisiana.
Wonderful. Well, I want to show you. I am with Jamie Donnelly. Can you see? And we are on location in Texas. And right now we're with 3rd graders and they are solving problems using 3D bears. So we are excited to learn with you. We'll let you take it away.
Okay, so this is actually our first time. So we have the students wanted to say a few things. We made a short little slide to kind of keep us in track or on track. So I'm going to let them start, if that's okay. All right. So, Jack, who are we?
So we are a group of tag students, and we have a company called 3 Donations that we're just starting. Last year, we started on something called Serenity Park, and that is a specialized park at our school that is used for the special ed kids. And it is going to be used as a place of calm and a place of tranquility.
Join.
Like anger issues, people who have certain physical disabilities, and things like that, so that they can feel they can feel calm. And we're here because we want to promote kindness through 3D printing. And we want to promote kindness through something called sublimation. Sublimation is whenever you take vinyl most of the time and you put it on like a bottle or something.
So what we've tried to learn about, so hi everyone. I've been trying to have them work on their skills outside of the classroom, more so here. We really have just touched the surface with online citizenship or digital citizenship. So we came to learn today. We've been logged in since about 9:15 trying to listen and learn. This is as long as I've had them, and we dismissed class around 11, so it's perfect timing. But I'm so sorry. That's my meeting. It says hi. We want to collaborate with other classes to find out the best way we can implement digital citizenship. That is our ultimate goal today.
I think you're in the right place because what you're doing is going to inspire so many other classrooms, just like the other classrooms that are joining us, are inspiring and empowering, where we're taking words and we're putting them into action this week.
Awesome.
Does your class still want to continue presenting, or?
Yes, they have 2 more things to present, if that's okay.
Perfect.
So we'd like to thank Buncee and Ms. Mary Alice for inviting us to participate in this summit.
All right, so tell them about what you got posted there. Do you remember that one?
Oh yes, participated in a grant last year, and it was called Make It Real. And it was essentially, we made a video and we posted it on a special platform. And that allowed us, in order to express our feelings about a certain idea that we had. And it was kind of like a manifesto, I guess. And what it was is we were essentially trying to spread positivity in online environments. So whenever we came up with this idea, we wanted to promote kindness, right? But we didn't really know how until one day we came up with the digital aspect of things, and we figured out that if we go on certain platforms of social media, we can promote kindness. And you want to get rid of in the process, as a great bonus, we want to get rid of a little bit of the toxicity.
You got it.
Toxicity.
Good job.
From the internet. So we want to reach more students. So what we want to do is we want to be able to reach every kind of student. We want to be able to reach the ones who are doing bad in classes. We want to reach the good ones. We want to reach everybody. We want to be able to have a big influence on a lot of people's lives. And we feel like if we can do that, then there's a possibility that the world will be a better place. So we want to spread the idea of honoring others. And by doing that, and the way that we're going to do that is we want to use a website that's called 3 Donations. We created that along with Gonzalez. And I feel that 3 Donations is a great place so that you can get some really, really cool 3D printed items. We also have 1, 2, 3 3D printers in this room. So we could get good business. And I feel like whenever we get good business, we're a nonprofit. So we can donate to certain organizations. And those organizations could be anything. Certain people could suggest things. People could, we could figure out something that we know on a personal level. And we feel that 3 Donations could really, really help promote that kindness idea.
That, is absolutely wonderful. I'm really hoping that you connect. There are so many classrooms this week that are doing some entrepreneurial work in the classrooms, and I will make sure that we make those connections after the fact. I know that Mr. Drezick and the Buncee team are joining us. We also have another classroom joining us from Missouri, as well as Connecticut, I can see is on. So is there somebody that would like to jump on next? Mr. Drezick, I see your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to this class that just presented. That's inspiring and amazing. I love what they're doing, and I can't wait to follow their journey. Hopefully I get connected with them if they're sharing it out somewhere on social or somewhere, because I know that we have kids in our school that would love to see that. And I say that's really neat that you have a couch in your classroom. I just think back to my time when I was in school, and there was never a couch in any classroom. So that's awesome too. But I was gonna jump in and share a tool that I think might help what those students are trying to do in terms of sharing and spreading their message. I was gonna share Buncee, and I don't know if, I'd just be curious to know if any of the other classrooms that are on have used Buncee or have heard of it. So is it Miss Bedford or Miss Perrodin? Is that anyone there used Buncee in the past, just out of curiosity?
We haven't actually. I learned about it this week when we shared out the sponsors. So we'd be interested to learn more.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna share some of that today. So maybe you could get some new ideas. I see Jamie, and I am wearing my my Buncee Buddies t-shirt. And I heard the words kind being thrown around, and we really use Buncee as a tool at Lakeshore CSD for creating, but also for being kind online. I heard Mrs. Bedford's class earlier talking about some protocols that they had for being online and maintaining privacy and being safe online. And we do the same thing with Buncee. When we post, when we share, we don't share any of our personal information. We always use the think method before we post, right? Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? So I'm going to just I'm just going to do a screen share and walk you through a little bit of what Buncee looks like and how we use it at Lakeshore, and how I think digital citizenship ties into it, as well as this afternoon, we're doing a project with our 4th graders here, and we are going to begin the work. So we did a big digital citizenship lesson with them last week. We meet with them 2 more times for an hour. But we're, instead of just the adults talking at and to these kids, we're going to have them create and make for the DigCit Commit Challenge. And Buncee is going to be one of the tools that we use to do that. And in addition, we're going to bring our Buncees to life with some augmented reality, which I think is really going to be fun. Yeah. So I know I have some friends from Buncee that are joining us from New York City. I don't know if they want to unmute and just say hello and introduce themselves before we get started.
Hi, did you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Marie. I am actually the founder of Buncee. So I am, our mascot is called Buncee Man. So you could argue that I'm Buncee Man's mom.
Yeah.
But as I was listening to you, let me introduce you also to Julian here.
Hello, hi.
Who is in charge of our social media. Yeah. And then there's Brian, Buncee Brian as we call him.
Hello.
So hello, Mary Alice and Michael and everybody, and we're delighted to be here to say hello to the classrooms. But as I was listening to you, and I will admit I was extremely impressed with how articulate you are. We have seen Buncee used often for kindness, in particular in social media and sharing positivity. Julian actually is the person who creates some of these. And I will tell you, internally, he may have been you when he was little, because his whole goal is to share kindness and positivity.
Yeah, absolutely. You did a great job in the presentation, and we really stand for kindness here at Buncee. So it's cool that, you know, seeing classes all around the world really engaging in the same type of feel.
And I will also say that for us, it is truly an honor to know that, or observe when our tool is used in that way. Michael, I couldn't agree with you more in terms of privacy and not sharing personal information though. So we take that very seriously in Buncee land as well. But if you are doing a demo, should I pass it back to you?
Sure, yeah, if I could share a little bit, and then I'll have you jump back in, because I know you always have such wonderful things to add right there from Buncee headquarters, where the magic all happens. So, and in classrooms, I know that was where a lot of the magic happens, when kids get behind the tool, which is so amazing. So I am going to start a screen share here, and just bear with me. All right, so you can see right here, somewhere I have the Buncee. I'm going to actually open up a new tab here and just go to edu.buncee.com. And this here is of course, because I'm logged in, it wants to take me, and let me go ahead and log out. And all right, so right here from the landing page, right, you can see that it's a creation tool. We use all kinds of stickers and animations, and really when I think about why our students love this tool, create, express, and share your ideas. No two Buncees are ever alike. It really is a fantastic creativity tool. One of the things that we are working on right now is something called the Global Buncee Book. Last year for World Read Aloud Day, we had an idea to basically have, I'm sorry, I'm just jumping through my tabs and my Zoom menu is blocking where all of my tabs are.
Michael, I don't know if you can see me, but I'm actually holding the book in my hands.
Oh,
Here
hey, look at
in
that.
Texas.
Wow.
Yep.
No way.
So's Marie.
I know one of these is, oh, it's probably because I logged out. Sorry, hold on a second. I was trying to get to that Buncee homepage. There we go. Here's the dashboard of several Buncees, and this is the digital version of the hard copy that they are holding up. So what happened here in Buncee was that, and this cover was designed by another classroom. It ended up being 39 pages long, and we started with a simple prompt to basically a Buncee man getting curious, and as Marie mentioned, Buncee man is like the mascot there for Buncee, and he was curious and he was heading into town. And all of these started with the blank page. And from here, we can add all of these stickers and the text, and the students recorded their voice to this. I don't know if you were able to hear that when I clicked the play button, but every classroom added a page to the story. So really, when the UFO came into play on this page, the students then took the story in an interesting direction. It was really just Buncee man and his friend Abby and their dog just wanting to go to the playground. And the students really took this book on a creative adventure. And then a classroom from Long Island joined in, and they put New York City in the background. You could see Manhattan. And the aliens were very hungry for a hot dog, and all they wanted was a delicious hot dog. And we know New York City makes great hot dogs. And then it just went on an adventure from there. And what I'm going to skip ahead here. I don't want to spoil the whole book, and I don't want to read it for you, but you can see the creativity and the stickers and the story unfolding as class is added. But when we talk about digital citizenship, we were connecting globally. It started in Lakeshore, and then it went to Long Island, and then to Rhode Island, and then to a classroom back to Long Island, and then it went back to Rhode Island, and then it went to Arizona, and then it made it all the way to Australia, and it traveled thousands of miles, and then it went to Illinois, and then Ohio was a class that helped design the cover. So it was really a fun story, and that was all made on Buncee. And what we're trying to do right now, you can see, is we are having the next Global Buncee book. It's live right now, so the classrooms that are watching could certainly join in and add a page. You can make a free Buncee account, and really what we're trying to do right here is send Buncee man on a mission to save the world. Buncee man is very chill. He's very laid back. He says in this book that his family calls him lazy, so he loses his motivation to go out and save the world. But I don't know if anyone's seen the board lately, but we just had a classroom here add to the board, and you can see he's traveling the world now. He's figuring out how he can save the world. I'll just share this page here. For example, this was created by the classroom in Australia, and if I press play, you would hear them reading the page. They went out and they met, Buncee man met Greta Thunberg in Sweden, and he was inspired to see if he could meet other kids doing awesome things around the world. And he just landed here in a class this morning in my school district, in Miss Manazzi and Miss Winsiniak's, and Buncee man wondered if there was a way to get helped, or a way to help other people get food so they wouldn't go hungry. He remembered his friends in Miss Manazzi and Mrs. Winsiniak's class at J.T. Watt Elementary in New York. They did a program called UNICEF Kid Power that helped others get much needed food. It was time to get moving. So you can see Buncee man is, and now there's a video here that's going to show you all about Kid Power. And you can see Buncee man teaming up with his friends to get active and help earn some food packets through UNICEF for students that may, or kids around the world that may be hungry. And now he's curious to see what other kids around the world are doing. So maybe he might just end up in one of your classrooms. But what does all of this look like on the other end? When you go to create inside of Buncee, and again, that Zoom drop down is getting me. I'm going to go here to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to create a new Buncee, and I'm going to create on version 3.
I just want to add, I've been upgraded. I'm version 3 too, personally and online, just saying.
Oh, version 3 is amazing. So now, if you need help getting started, there's all kinds of templates for here, from greeting cards to holidays. I heard the other class talk about spreading kindness. You can make a greeting card and take it to the local senior citizens community, or you could send a holiday card or a birthday card to a friend, or maybe you could even create something and tape it to their locker or send it to them in an email, whatever that looks like for you. Every Buncee is a blank canvas to create. So I am just going to do this for the DigCit Summit. And I am going to get myself a nice background here. I can look at backgrounds that are trending and see what's popular here. I really like, I could put Buncee Man in, this nice sunset. I'm going to add this to the page. So you can add these backgrounds, and what I really like about it is I can click down on the bottom and I could lighten it up if I want to maybe fade it out a little bit. I can go ahead and add an animation. Maybe I want let's find Buncee Man because he is a fun one. And so you can type it in and search for Buncee Man. You also have all of these categories over here on the left-hand side as you scroll. And I even see things like the makerspace and play and STEAM and science and technology and transportation, and there you go, the kindness, the well wishes. But I'm going to go ahead and grab a Buncee Man sticker, and I am going to have him with the flashlight here searching for something. I can go ahead and stretch it out. I can, over here on the right hand side, add any of these items. You can add, and this is really neat. One of the things that is new is this Buncee 3D. I can add these 3D models. So maybe, let me go ahead and see if I could find an animal that might be here in the sunset. See, they're loading in. A lot of anatomy and body parts. Here we go. I'm gonna go with the horse. Just add this horse here for now. But when you preview the Buncee, you will find that that horse is now a 3D model. So you can move it around and interact with it within the Buncee. You can obviously, if I added pages, I would have more pages to flip through. I can share this Buncee. I can make it copyable. And when we're talking about digital citizenship, this is probably one of my favorite pieces. I can make it commentable. So for example, if I were to go back to my Buncee board for the Global Buncee book, here they are. And I see that this classroom in Australia has done an amazing job on a Buncee, or I want to ask them a question, I can go and open up their Buncee on the board and click comments. And from here, you can see you have the ability to enter a comment. So again, I want to enter a comment that is true, it's helpful, it's inspiring, it's necessary, it's kind. Any one of those would be great. I'm looking for conversation starters as opposed to conversation enders, but I could say I didn't know who is Greta Thunberg, and I had that question. I can add that comment, and it's pending review by the board owner. So again, another element of privacy to make sure that it's an appropriate comment, which I love. So since I'm the board owner, I would have to be the one that goes in and approves that comment. But our students use this to give each other some feedback on their Buncee creations. Back to what I was creating. Actually, I'm going to open up this one here. I want to show you something really neat. I'm going to open up this Buncee that was on the board that was done by the classroom in Australia. And right here is a tool called Immersive Reader. It's built into the platform. I can click the Immersive Reader, and what it's going to do is it's going to break down any text on the Buncee. I could press play and listen to it.
After meeting Greta, we sat and admired Carl Johan's Park in Sweden. It was time to amp up our mission.
I can slow that down on the speed. I can change the voice to a male. I can come over here on the other side and I can look at some grammar options. I can see, highlight all the verbs or highlight all of the adjectives. I can kind of examine that piece of writing and it color codes them. Here I can see they're in green. For my students that maybe speak a different language, I could go ahead and translate the entire document into any of the languages supported. And there are a lot of them. So I can go ahead.
I'm really glad that you're demonstrating the different languages right now, because the fact that we have 37 countries that are joining us. So thank you so much for sharing that specifically.
So just to show you here, what I just did was I just turned it on by document and I switched it to Spanish Mexico. And if I press play.
Después de conocer a Greta, nos sentamos y admiramos Karl-Johan's Park en Suecia. Era hora de amplificar nuestra.
But we really wanted, if we really want this to be a true global Buncee book, any student or any class could add, regardless of their language, and we could communicate back and forth. So I love that. There's also something called a picture dictionary, whereas if you're not sure what something means, like the word time, for example, I know people know what time is, but I can get a picture of a clock. I can see kids. I can see goals. What are goals? I could see achieve being given as a picture. And I can even click on the microphone here to hear the word pronounced.
Achieve.
So that is just a little bit of what's built into Buncee through Microsoft's Immersive Reader. I just wanted to take a chance, some time to share some of these tools and maybe talk about what other students might create. If any students over there are getting ideas, I have a picture right here. This is, our students have a student-run business, and you're going to meet them tomorrow at the summit. They are called the Time Kids, and you can see right here in this picture, they designed their business card for their student-run business on Buncee. On the other side of their business card, because on every Buncee you can add a QR code that links to the Buncee, not only are those stickers there, but those are all animations. So they can have this kid dancing, and it comes to life on their business card. So there's all kinds of fun ways that you can use Buncee in the classroom. And what we're gonna do with our 4th grade students for their Digital Citizenship Commit Challenge is we are going to take our square Buncees and we are going to put them onto a merge cube. So the students are going to share on this merge cube their commitment to digital citizenship, and we are going to share those out to the world. So that is my little crash course on Buncee. I love also that there's this ideas lab here. I would encourage other teachers or students to check out how other classrooms around the world are using Buncee. Look at this. We talked about password. We talked about digital citizenship and security. Here's a Buncee all around password security. Share what digital citizenship means to you. You can even embed your own video inside of a little laptop there. Talking about digital footprint, evaluating online sources, all of these really neat ways to create these awesome multimedia Buncees, really, to share with the world, or to share with your classmates, or share with your friends. So I'm going to unshare here for now and see if anyone else wants to add in or wants to, or has any questions in any of the classrooms that are joining us.
We did create Buncee's last hour with sophomores on Dickship Summit, and I will get those shared out today as well.
Was that Ms. Steinberg's class that said that?
Yes, and will you introduce yourselves?
Sure, we'll start right here. I'm Alexis. And there are the panelists for today. They can answer questions. I'm Mrs. Steinberg, or Steinberg, here in Plato, Missouri.
Can you also share why you decided to come back today? That was, for anybody that's joining on the panel, but as well as anybody joining us virtually. Your classroom connected yesterday for our Spanish day, but you take it from there. Let us know.
Yes, we connected. We were actually supposed to be on Monday, but then I realized we didn't have school. It was a professional development day. So Mary Alice kindly threw us in yesterday for Spanish day. So my Spanish students, and they're just Spanish 1, they didn't know very much, they couldn't understand very much of what was said, but they really enjoyed listening to the other students. We talked some in Spanish, but mostly in English yesterday. But it was super fun. So my sophomores were like, hey, can't we do this in our English class? So I asked, and here we are.
Well, that's great to hear. The super fun piece is certainly the piece that's great to hear. But Michael, there was one thing I thought that you might want to share with the crowd, although it's not necessarily has to be part of that global book. But just so you guys all know, we have Fortnite-inspired dancers that are animations as well. So
yes.
you left out a very key piece there, Michael.
Yeah, and dabbing Buncee Man and flossing Buncee Man and all of those, yeah, or just the characters, exactly.
So I did want to say I loved what you were saying about the business piece, Michael. And in Ideas Lab, if you search business, there is a Buncee. I don't know if I should share quickly.
I can go ahead. I have it pulled up right here. So
oh, awesome.
Let me share it once more, and you could just leave your mic on, and we can. Here we go. All right. So I searched business in the Ideas Lab.
Okay, and so that top one is actually Amber McCormick in Florida created that. That's where students have created a game. They've coded a game, or I think in that case it was Bloxels. And then they use Buncee to actually market their game. But if you scroll down a little bit, Michael, the one that says market your own business down, it's two people and yellowish banners. There you go.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yep. If you click into that one, just so you know, when you were talking about your business, that young man in his very eloquent first presentation, when you create a Buncee, you can resize the Buncee into 8 different sizes, I think it is, or 7.
7. Each one has its portrait and landscape too. So
yeah. So yes.
Custom dimensions as well.
Right.
Customize your own.
But you can add any kind of media to market your business, but you can resize. Maybe that's not the one we were looking at yesterday, Michael.
Okay.
You can brand your product as well. So if you have images of the 3D products that you've created and you want to sell in your nonprofit, you might want to go to resize, for example.
Yep.
So maybe the first is a regular presentation about your product that you're selling, but then maybe you want to make a square for your business card just to be different. Mary Alice, you remember that yesterday? And then there are banners for social media if you click there. So again, think in terms of running a business and all the different pieces that you have to think about when you're trying to promote your product. And when you take that and change all the sizing, you can keep your branding as well. So if you've chosen different stickers in Buncee or images that you've uploaded, you can make a flyer, for example, or also maybe a newsletter that you're sending out about your product. So just clicking to resize the canvas really opens up a lot of options.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's super helpful. I know we usually try to resize in the beginning with the fresh Buncee, but I suppose you could resize right now.
If you don't mind, the thing with resizing, if you took this Buncee and resized it, things are going to move because you've totally changed the aspect ratio. So maybe we won't do that. But would you mind just hovering over where resize is?
Oh.
If you don't mind, sure. I think sometimes Jamie shared with us yesterday that she wasn't able to find it. Right there.
Yep.
So when you click that, that's what opens up your option drop down.
And when we're talking about digital citizenship, one of the things that comes up is accessibility. How are we making our tool available so that everybody can use it? And if you go right into settings, one of the things that is a switch is you can turn on web accessibility. You can turn on text to speech. You can use tools like the Immersive Reader, and you can make your Buncee more accessible for other users. So it's really, when we talk about being inclusive as one of the DigCit commit competencies, that's one way that you can use this tool to also help you. But yeah, that is great. But like what I was thinking exactly is when you go to create that Buncee right on V3 from the start, you'll have the option, as Marie was saying, to change your size. Now, is that start from scratch, right? Once you start from scratch and you resize it at the start, you'll be better off to resize it now before you start adding all of your elements so they don't shift around.
And then when that young man was speaking about positivity, Julian often creates a square Buncee for the weekends regarding positivity, and is able to share those easily on Instagram, or you can share anywhere when you click the share button in the upper right.
Yep. I'm just going to throw a nice message on here. So in the Buncee messages, if I type in kind, I do see some messages. I'm going to use this throw kindness around like confetti, and I'm going to add that.
Hey, throw in be that kind of kid, because we love that expression.
I am going to throw in so I'm going to go to messages again, and I'm going to type in kind, and I'm going to go with be that kind. I like the kind jumps out in this one. So we're going to take that over here, and we're going to make that really big. And I am going to, and I know Mary Alice mentioned, and Marie mentioned the dancers. I'm not sure if I type in dance, if I'll get some of them. Here we go. All right. I'm going to have these people dancing on my, well, I'm going to get the different kinds of dance moves here. What do we got going on? I'm going to add these fun characters doing their dances. And you can resize those, but right. And then you obviously want to give it a title. All right. I'm just going to say be that kind of kid. And then we're going to hit the share button here. So yeah, Maria, you were saying about the share. You could share on social to any of those platforms. You can download it as an image. You can print it. You can email it to someone. You can just go ahead and grab this code. You can embed it on a website. You've got all different, and if you wanted to accept comments on it to improve, reach on the digital citizenship end with your students, you could do that as well. So, but that's just a quick, and you can obviously add another page over here and just keep on going.
That was a fabulous demonstration. And I love that we've got these classrooms that are joining us. I'm going to actually turn on, I've got my headset on, so you're not going to necessarily hear everybody, but I wanted to show you 3D bear happening in action while here in Texas. But here's just a great opportunity with the students that are, the classrooms that are on this panel to, you know, jump on, have the opportunity to engage with each other, engage with you and the Buncee team. So let me know which spotlight we should add next.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know if anyone has any questions or if we want to go back to any of the classrooms that are on, if they want to share some ideas. I know we had some students coming up and talking before. If they have any ideas.
All right. Yep. Jump up whenever you get a chance.
So if I can relate back to the social media aspect of spreading kindness, on Twitter and Facebook, you can follow us at Free Donations. We answer questions, and like you can connect with us, and we'll answer in like your comments and questions.
Can you spell that? Was it free donations?
3 donations.
Write it down. Hang on just a second. We'll write it for you.
Perfect. Yeah. I want to make sure I get this right because I'm gonna...
Just like the pencil.
It's at the number 3.
Oh, I got you. Yep.
My marker disappeared. I'm sorry. You got. He's writing it on the clipboard. Hang on. We also have our Periscope going for our parents so they can see what's going on. So I'm managing more than one camera.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm searching 3 donations right now because we'd love to.
And it ends with a Z.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that it?
We found you. Okay.
Yay! We're also we only have Facebook and Twitter right now because we just started. Our EdCorp started in August of this year.
Very cool. We'll definitely share with you our positive results, and we can go back and forth of sharing, positivity.
Yeah, and our EdCorp's kids are on tomorrow for Dickship Summit, our kind kids. They just had the Channel 7 news here right before I came on live, taking a tour, and the Buncee card was featured in the news piece, which is really cool. So I would love it if you were to find a way to use this tool in your EdCorp's journey. I think there's a lot you can do with it.
We had Margaret Atkinson just on at 9 o'clock for the Upstander brand. So that was another EdCore. And I want to know, even from Laura's classroom, what these high schoolers think of all these kids having nonprofits in their classroom. What do you think?
Maybe she can hear it.
Yeah, you want to tell them what our kindergartners do?
Oh,
we could figure out a way to jump in on that and help them online.
They do the it's called the Kindness Connection, and they go to like all of the elderly people's houses in our community and like bring them cards and stuff.
We could do that.
Michael, what your group did years ago, going to the senior centers was really amazing.
Yes. We had some students that took Buncees. They made silly Buncees, anything that would make somebody smile or laugh. And they created them on Buncee, and they brought them to the nursing homes and the senior homes, and they got a kick out of it. And to our surprise, we didn't think that those old people in the nursing homes would be ready to go with an iPad. They knew how to scan a QR code and brought the Buncees to life. And I should have never assumed that an 80-year-old person does not know how to use a QR code reader, because then they had their minds blown when the Buncee animations came to life on their iPad.
That gives me ideas how we can use Buncee with our kindergartners when they go out in the community. That would be awesome. Because I do the school social media, so I can promote that with Buncee as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are really honored when we see that schools use Buncee to share their successes too. Using social media, you can use Buncee to create your Facebook banner, your Twitter banner, but also if there's if it's de-identified and maybe even a student did something amazing or created a Buncee that's amazing, it's really easy to share that on social media as well.
I'll be doing that later
real quick, or are we going to interrupt the presentation?
No.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. This is Jamie, and we're here in Texas. Miss Perry invited us in, and I said, have you ever met the folks from Buncee? And she goes, I've never met them. So I said, well, let's introduce you. Here you are. The Buncee team and the Buncee users. You have classrooms here using it. And guess what? Here at White Oak, the third grade classrooms use Buncee all year long. What kind of do you know what kind of projects they work on?
Things like solar system, that make a Buncee of their research for the solar system, or animal habitats is a big one because that's a third grade teak.
Yeah, that's
they will probably get a kick out of seeing the fact that we have 3D planets now too.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's awesome. That's great. Thank you guys for letting us bounce in. We appreciate everything you guys are doing. We're going to get back to these crazy kids designing with fun stuff.
Quick.
Another thing that I'll just share is that I know there's a DigCit commit Flipgrid out there. You can create a Buncee and attach it to your Flipgrid video. So that is another option. If you wanted to, is to record your video on the DigCit commit Flipgrid and attach your Buncee to go along with your video. So it's like 2 for 1.
And we actually have a DigCit commit Buncee in a board that I know that classrooms are working on this week. So you can do it there. You can app smash it just about anywhere.
We do admit we see Buncee app smashed with an awful lot of tools. Which is really, really fun. And every now and then you'll see a new one and you're like, oh, didn't think of that.
I see a couple more people from Buncee joined in, and we got to get an introduction.
There we go. There's Aditya. And you know, guys, those fun Buncee Man animations. Yeah, that lady right there created them. So does anybody have any other questions for us? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of thank yous, and the classrooms appreciate the platform and the space to get creative. Absolutely. But yeah, so do you have a question there?
You might be muted.
Yep, I got it. So our last question, we've heard about using Buncee a lot, and I've got 100 questions. They all want to know when we can get started and use it right away. So thanks for that. We appreciate all that.
You can sign up. You can sign up for an account right now for your class. So it's you and your students.
Got it. Okay.
So if you just go on, you can sign up and get going.
And if your EdCorp kids ever wanted to have a Skype session with our 4th grade EdCorps over here, I'm sure our kids would love to share how they create a Buncee for their business in the future, if you ever want to do that.
Absolutely. Jack had something to say.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for including us. This was a fun experience.
Okay, wait. Jack, can we chat with Jack's folks or maybe all of your students there? I'm thinking they should be Buncee employees pretty soon. You guys have skills.
They do. They have quite a lot, actually. So we do our best to include all of their experiences, what they have experience in, but they enjoy learning lots of new things. So it's exciting to be able to offer them all the different options. That's what my favorite thing about teaching this class is.
Oh, that's great. Well,
teacher too.
You know what? I can tell. I can tell.
Can we even jump in and talk about how you and I have never met? I've never met Laura in person either. And how did you get involved with the Dickship Summit? Like, let's share that for, people that are watching virtually as well. And anybody that's not connected, how they need to get connected because of all these amazing opportunities.
Gotcha. So we joined it. I started on Twitter about 2 years ago with my partner teacher at the time, Miss Margaret Atkinson. So her Upstander brand introduced me to the new PLN on Twitter. I started doing Periscopes, and then just recently through Twitter met Michael and Matthew and Mary Alice and all of you guys, and haven't jumped on it and get involved at all. So this was our first attempt at saying hi to everybody.
Well, you did. It's going to be hard to beat your first.
Yeah, I think so. And this guy right here, and the vocabulary these kids have is
insane.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my. Well,
I was going to say about Laura's. I wanted to see, because you're all in high school.
Did you have a question? I'm sorry.
They've just augmented a chicken on my head, by the way. Sorry about that. The 3rd graders. But you and I have never met. How did you get involved?
We have never met. You and I were on Boxer and a book study together. And I think it was about digital.
Yes, it was on our DigCit Kids book. Yeah. So the power of being connected. Now, does your classroom, your high school classroom, use technology and social media personally as students to make those professional connections?
Okay, thumbs up if we do. Some of them do, looks like most of them do, and we've been talking about how to decide who to follow and who to allow to follow you. Who do you add to your friend circle? How do they decide that? We've been talking about that a lot this week, and they are going to be making Buncees later. Second hour already made theirs, but they couldn't join us today. So they've made Buncees to talk about the different competencies. But mainly, what I like to focus on with high school kids is their digital footprint. Colleges and employers are going to be looking at their social media feeds. What are they going to see? Is it the normal things? Is it going to be highly negative? Is it going to be illegal things? Because high school kids do things and they should not put that on there. And we talk about what's appropriate and what normal would look like and how to promote yourself without being self-centered.
You're 100% right. I mean, you do look at social media, actually. It becomes a full part of the interview process today. So you really should be very mindful of what you're posting. And sometimes things that we think are funny because we get the inside joke may not translate to the broader audience. So it's, Laura, that's great advice and guidance.
And one thing I do love about Buncee, and we talked about it today when we made our DigCit graphics. We're doing the one-to-one square, so I can put on schools' Instagram and Facebook, is that they can show inclusivity with your items that we can add without even saying it. Because I want them to think about representing people that don't look exactly like them. So how can they do that? You guys have a lot of different people and age groups and variety that we can use with the clip art. It's amazing. I love it.
Well, thank you for that. But I will admit that we've taken guidance on that from many, many people. For example, one fellow that we were working with spent a lot of time in Cambodia, and he shared with me, he said, you know, I would just encourage you to add assets that reflect students that may have more physical disabilities. And he was sharing, sadly, that there still are many landmines there. And so he said when he was in schools there, what he was struck by were the posters on the wall. Of students and students in wheelchairs or on crutches. And we do absolutely work very hard here and we take guidance from really all our community all the time with that.
I love that. We appreciate that a lot.
Well, thank you. Again, that lady over there helps a lot with this.
I'm going to just step in also, like yesterday for, I know we're talking about the high school kids and maybe if there's any other middle schoolers here, we run a global ed student chat that is a live panel discussion from Zoom to YouTube Live. And we always bring in an expert and we always have students on the panel leading the conversation. And we presented at the summit yesterday. However, last night our team met and we developed, and the students organized the topics, and those topics are now ready to be shared. And if I could do a quick screen share and share with Ms. Steinberg's class. If any of you are interested in joining, it's Tuesdays, once a month at 1 p.m. There's a 30-minute live panel and there's a slow chat on Twitter that lasts all month long. So it's a great way to build a positive digital footprint. So let me just real quick show what we have in store for that as a follow-up for the Global Ed Student Chat. So here are the dates and the topics of what is to come this school year. So we just did the first one on Break the Fake, on fake news and media literacy. We did one, our next one will be on service learning. December's is building school culture. January's is do your homework, but notice the question mark in there. That's a hot topic for students. And the value of relationships, self-awareness and identity is in March. Digital persona, who am I online, is April. And May 12th, mental health and well-being. These were topics selected by the students and curated by the students of what they wanted to talk about. We also have some students on the team that design the media and the graphics. And I obviously hope that I will encourage them to use Buncee to do that. You'll see them sharing during these Twitter slow chats. And we hope that someone maybe that's on the session today could join us online for this. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be great. I will share it with my other.
And that is the Twitter handle and everything. And then also if you were just put a hashtag in front of that, that's where you can find more information.
That's awesome. All right, my students are going to have to go, so they are going to thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to let us join in on your video chat.
Yeah.
We're about to have to go too, but we want to connect later. So you can see we have a Z at the end.
Buncee followed you already.
You got it. Awesome. And the other thing is our biggest question that we're learning throughout the day today is how can we use digital citizenship now, like as opposed to just being online, like how can we share it with other people? So the apps that you guys are showing us, including Buncee, is going to be a great way to incorporate that. We really thank y'all for sharing all that.
Well,
one more thing.
Hang on.
I just subscribed to your YouTube channel. I'm gonna look at
They're very quick with their fingers.
So are we.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. I've got to let them go to the next class.
It was great to meet
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, that was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, the kids were great. I love that their energy, their enthusiasm. I love that they have a purpose to, how it's not about the tool. They have their why. They are
absolutely
driven. So that was awesome. Yeah, and I guess it was good timing. We just picked this session. We wanted to share Buncee because it's such a powerful DigCit and creation tool. So I love that the partner classes that were on at this time had a great way and had some great ideas to how they would use it for their classroom.
To implement it into their nonprofit classroom. It was wonderful. I know that we're coming up, Jessica Bedford's classroom, which I know her school, which is in Connecticut. In fact, Brian, when we were in the very, very beginning with Buncee, and I think you came on a tour, Jessica was one of my graduate students at the University of St. Joe's and is teaching. And then so to continue to connect those dots and like kind of have an opportunity to reflect on some history as well is pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And hey, is Jamie right there?
Jamie is with the next group of 5th graders.
Okay.
But here's Jessica, Mrs. Bedford, actually, because she's probably with students.
Yep. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Mrs. Bedford. How are you?
Good. So yes, I'm here with my students. We have a few more that are joining us. We're in the middle of lunch waves. So if you could just give us a few minutes and then we'll be ready to jump back on.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, I don't know if the Buncee team, if you can stay on, if you've got to go, but I know I can show you. Why don't I do on my screen what Jamie's doing right now. So we had a divide and conquer to make sure that we could connect classrooms. But let me make sure. She's talking about augmented reality. Hold on. I want to make sure that my volume, I'll take this off.
For augmented virtual, do you guys want to hear a little bit about 3D Bear? Let me go ahead and get you guys built in. Okay, are you guys there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm sharing about using 3D Bear right now. And the way that we are using it is creation. We were talking about CoSpaces just a minute ago because this class has actually already started building in CoSpaces. And so, so inside of CoSpaces, you guys had to build and you get to go in and see each other, but you can also see it alive in your own space. You have to go back into CoSpaces, make a change, and then see it in space. And go back into CoSpaces. But what you can do in 3D Bear is everything is done live, like we are right now, live. So we're done live. Everything you place in your space, right? You can walk around it, build and create and explore. And we have a really, really important task for you guys today. The other two classes, 3rd and 4th grade, we wanted them to see what there was. We asked them to redesign the space and recraft it. They brought in something that was unexpected. What was that? A big alligator, but also plants. They kept bringing in plants. They want to see fresh, new, real things in their space, right? And so bringing in plants was kind of a surprise. Also, can you mention what was your aha moment just a little bit ago that you were sharing? Like this whole experience kind of made you think what is different?
It made me realize for the first time how powerful your voice is as a student. Because I began to think about just the things around our school that I would like to see different. I would like to see changed. And I can voice that all I want till I'm blue in the face. But as a student, if you see the need for that and you begin to create it and show the need for that, they're going to listen to you. Why? Because our school whole motto is we do what's right by students all the time, every day. If it comes from a student voice, your voice is so much more powerful, I think, than I realized much more powerful than you realize. So if you'll open your eyes as you're walking around this community, you're at the ballpark, you're at the splash pad, you're at all these different, you're at Pinnock Park, you're at all these places. Have you ever been to a place like that and said, man, it'd be really cool if they had a skate park right here, or if they had a ramp right here, because I can't get my grandmother to the baseball games because they're having to be pushed the wheelchair through the sand. Things like that. Your voice is very powerful. You can make the difference in this community and this school. But don't hold those ideas in your head, boys and girls. Start voicing them and getting those out, because you live in a culture now where you have social media. You can get people on that bandwagon with you. And your voice is very, very powerful.
You guys have a chance to share your voice in a really important way today, because my understanding is you have a space that was designed here a few years ago, and it was spent a lot of money, and they put in a lot of effort, and they built a outdoor science area for you, right? But nobody owned it. So what happened to it? Does it look pretty out there?
Where the pond is. There you go. We're talking about.
You guys haven't even been out there, and it's your space. Do you know that? Your 5th grade space. So guess what? We're going to go out there and we're going to get some minds going, because we're going to give you guys the power to show people what you can do with that space.
What that could look like.
Yeah. So I'm going to be demonstrating 3D Bear, and you guys are going to take it and you're going to go crazy. You guys are going to have fun. We're going to be grouping you guys up into groups, so you're going to have to work together. And what we will hear here at the end, when Dr. Curran comes in, is that there is going to have to be some balance. That means if you 3 are working together, not one person can hog it the whole time, right? We're going to have to balance that out. There's going to have to be some empathy and understanding. Maybe people really are excited about something. Give them a chance to work on that. And definitely some problem solving and creativity. You guys are going to be putting all of that to work today. So when I'm going to show you using an iPad that I stole from Ellie today.
Don't tell Ellie.
Actually, Mary Ellis.
Yes.
We're going to have to jump off.
Yep.
Take it. We miss you already.
All right, we miss you already. All right, thank you for this opportunity. And Michael, you're a rock star. You guys are all rock stars.
We're going to continue, and if Mrs. Bedford, you know, we're just going to finish this off, and then they're going to go create, and then we're going to learn from you. So I'm going to put it back on to Mrs. Donnelly.
All right. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Have fun.
Bye.
Okay. Just because the app, because it starts to get stuck. So keep that in mind as you guys are going. If you need to throw it out, you all should know how to do that. If not, feel free to let us know. Double clicking your home button and swiping it up. Okay, do you guys see how that's green right there? That means you're logged into my class. That's what you need to be. If you ever notice it's not green, come and see me and I'll log you in, okay? Down here is the library. These are all the objects, so you guys are going to get it.
You know, while you're doing this, for the class, are we going to be able, could Mrs. Bedford's, if they had the code, could they join virtually as well? Okay, good.
Share that. Yeah,
okay,
if
great.
Want to join in and you guys,
or anybody joining virtually could?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Anybody,
fabulous.
Download 3D Bear and I'll give you the code for my class and you can join in. Absolutely. So here what we're going to do, and I just have it pointed here down the ground, it really likes flat surfaces. So when you're trying to put it up in the sky or up on a table, it's going to have a harder time than when just putting it on the floor, okay? You take your objects down here, you tap that, and then you have all of these things in the library that you can pull in. So if you are outside and you really want to redesign your space, remember, think about what this could look like. We want to get some great pictures of what you want to recreate for that space. The fact that you guys don't know what that is not good. You guys should be down there exploring outside and seeing science come to life, right? So here I am, I can bring in some of these items, and sometimes whatever you bring in, like if I want to bring a rock ground here, it might need to be downloaded. Do you guys see right there how it's downloading? So once it's downloaded, you guys see it? It's kind of a little bit transparent, so it might be harder to see. But I'm going to go ahead and tap it. There it is. And then I can move it around. So I can zoom in and zoom out. If I want to raise it, I can. I go with the arrow, okay? So now I can also add in, maybe you guys want to bring in, maybe you don't want to bring in a crocodile, but we all know they are out here. All right. Yeah.
Can we bring in LED?
Yeah, you can absolutely have LED elephant in all your photos or any of your photos. Okay, you guys ready? Now see that big circle on the side? That's where I'm gonna snap a photo. That's what you will be doing. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So everybody get in the photo. Watch out for the alligator.
Hey, does everybody see where you take a picture? Yeah. Click on that to take a picture.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Don't let that alligator eat Ellie the elephant.
Now, here's what you're going to do. In order for me to see what you've created, you tap right there.
Watch. Junior, did you hear this? You click here, after you've taken the photo, you click here to share it with Miss Donnelly's class.
Now, if you don't share that, then nobody knows you created it. We're going to come back and look. So once you do that, it gets sent to me. Now, if I want to see all the pictures that I took, I can tap over there. And if there's a picture that hasn't been sent, it will let me know. So these are all the creations that they've used. Like, look at this. Somebody actually put a placemat right here, a great mat to walk into when they join the class. I love that. Somebody else took a video. That was actually me. I was showing how you can actually record video. I was putting a book on that bookshelf. So there's lots that you can do here and add into the space. But what we're going to do is we're going to go out to that outdoor area and we're going to blow their minds. We're going to let them know what's possible with that space. And you guys are going to be the ones that develop it. Okay.
And then you're going to come back and share out virtually with our online DigCit Summit community.
Absolutely.
So
you'll be sharing, Dr. Curran will be coming and sharing some really cool stuff with you guys. We're giving her a break right now because she has classrooms that she's working with.
So yes, I'm going to go connect back with Connecticut.
Awesome.
While you're out there solving problems and creating solutions
we'll
with
come back and show
3D Bear. All right, perfect.
Thank you guys. All right, so Dr. Curran will be back there connecting, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to be working in groups. With the group this size, will it be group of 3?
No, I think we can do 2.
Okay, awesome.
Here's what I'm going to do because
Okay, Mrs. Bedford, I don't know if your class is ready or if you got to watch that, but I'm now back in. I'm ready for whenever.
I'm gonna sit right here.
All right, we're getting there. All right.
And
Can
then
you hear me? Oh, there you are.
And then class will go and actually create with 3D Bear and come back and share out as well.
That's very cool. So we watched a little bit of it. I have it all ready to go for this group to do it next. This camera is not the best view as it was earlier. All right, let me change the camera. There we go. This camera's a little better. All right, so here's my crew.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I am in Texas right now with a bunch of 5th graders, and they're going outside to do some augmented reality and redesign their school. So while they're doing that, they're going to come back and then present to you, but I'd love to hear your presentations right now.
All right, are we ready? Yeah. All right, so let me just pick up our, it's okay, I have it here. Like, all right, so.
In fact, will you just let anybody know that's joining us virtually, you know, where you're joining, all of that, and then I'll just be in the background.
All right,
perfect.
So we are joining from Connecticut, and we are a group of 1st graders, 2nd graders, 3rd graders, and 4th graders. And we're here to share with you how we use and learn about digital citizenship in our technology classroom. So we have technology for 45 minutes, once a day a week. And these are some of the highlights of what we do in our class. So I'll turn it over to the students. And this is the camera, so you're gonna wanna like bend down in front of that. All right, there you go. Start us off.
Digital citizenship is a big deal in our school. We have Chromebooks kindergarten through 4th grade. Yes, even in kindergarten, our students use a Chromebook every day to share their learning. Oh, we start our digital citizenship journey by talking about how to take care of our Chromebooks. Kindergartners know how to carry and put away their Chromebooks safely.
Yeah, it's your turn.
First graders created books to share with kindergartners how to use their Chromebooks. Have you heard of the story If You Give a Mouse a Cookie? Well, here's our vision of if you give a kindergartner a Chromebook. Can these fly? It was
That's okay.
Oh yeah, it's super noisy. Yeah. So what do you think is about digital citizenship? The mouse is because he's not sharing any of his stuff. He's just sharing general stuff that can be true about anyone.
So, what else do we talk about in 2nd grade?
Can I also jump in and say that I've seen your teacher actually teach this lesson?
Yeah.
What this looks like. Will you kind of describe the lesson to the point where you get to this point in the mouse?
Because the element, we can tell that the mouse is better digital citizenship because it only shares its first name, its hobby, what kind of house it lives in, and its favorite picture. But the elephant isn't a good citizen because it tells everyone its full address, its password, a selfie of it, its full name, a secret about its brother, and its birthday.
And how did we do this activity, Owen?
So first we went around the room looking for whoever is
looking for what?
clues to find out where everything, and sort the information about those. And once you're done, you have to try and find out which one, and you have to just drag the red circle that's in the bottom middle to around the character picture who's the better digital citizen.
That was a wonderful description, because I remember it was kind of set up like I was going on a scavenger hunt in the classroom, and I was finding out all this information about both the elephant and the mouse. And it was such a great way to look at a compare and contrast, especially when you look at what it means to be a good digital citizen. I think this is a great lesson that would be easy for any classroom to do. And the fact that, did you say that you did this for another classroom?
This is for second graders.
For second graders. This is wonderful. I'll go back onto mute, but I just had a comment about this because I love this lesson.
Yes, it is a very good lesson. And like you said, it is good for anyone, and you can adjust it as you see fit. But it is very fun to go around the room and find these clues about what they're posting online.
We created positive digital footprints by sharing public information about ourselves. So this is my digital footprint page. As you can see a picture of baked potato and words that say my favorite food is baked potato with lots of pepper. You also can see a picture of a Beyblade and some rocks, because I like to collect Beyblades and rocks. And a digital footprint is something you make when you go online or do something. You don't make it though when you play an app that's downloaded, only like internet stuff.
Great. Do you want to tell us about your digital footprint?
Yeah. My hobby, I like dogs, and I like to ice skate or roller skate. And my favorite hobby is to play with my baby brother, and play with my toys, and play on my Xbox. And I like my family, and I like my school.
That was so fabulous. I want to know, how did you create this visual? What tool did you use, or what platform?
What tool did we use to create these?
We used
remember the name of
Google Classroom.
We got the assignment in Google Classroom, but then what's all the pages called?
Slides.
So this is done in Google Slides. And we learned how to change the backgrounds to be our favorite colors and how to insert images. And I noticed, Blake and Owen, that your images aren't pictures. Remember what those special words were we had to add at the end? What was it, Owen?
Clip art. I just want to add some realistic pictures, because when I typed in Beyblade clip art, they had no pictures of Beyblade.
Correct. So sometimes we have to use actual pictures when it's objects, but it's always good to add the word clip art so that we're not taking pictures.
That is another perfect example of good digital citizenship. Being informed. I love it.
In third grade, we focus on caring for our Chromebooks at home, creating a positive digital identity, and staying safe online. I can create a positive digital identity by disguising myself so nobody knows who I am. I added a rebus puzzle to share my public information about myself. Can you solve it?
Do you notice the rebus puzzles at the top here? We talked about being critical thinkers and problem solvers. So we got creative after we told a lot about ourselves. We started creating rebus puzzles for other people to guess. What do you think?
That is so creative.
I know. I found out the first one.
Yeah.
No,
Chloe.
I love Alien Invaders. I kind of.
Right. So I love alien invaders. These two sentences sort of go together.
My super digital citizen helps others stay safe online by stopping them from sharing private information. His texting protector power reminds students to only write public information. His flying power lets him make sure students are making good choices.
We had a session that was so lovely. We had a session yesterday from a classroom in Mexico, and they were all digital superheroes. And they took the idea about being a superhero both on and offline. So I love that.
In fourth grade, we focus on care for our Chromebook, understanding our media choices, and creating a positive digital identity. To be responsible with the Chromebook, we make sure we charge it on a hard surface at home every night.
And Amelia, can you tell what tool we use to create this?
Buncee.
Buncee.
Oh, and I love that just because I didn't get to see any of the session before with Buncee. It was great.
Yeah.
But I have a question about charging. Not only do we have to charge our devices, what else do we need to recharge?
Our brain. Our pad.
Our brains.
Our body.
Our energy, our body.
Our nutrients.
Which is why
we need to be balanced. I love it.
Yep, we talked about that. We recharge both batteries that night, right?
Great.
Here.
Media balance is determining how much media we should use. My class likes video games the most for their media choice. I collected data from my classmates and used Google Sheets to create a chart to visually show how we use media.
You know, this goes back to, because there's this new focus on digital citizenship, and they've got 5 new competencies. And this is definitely for the media use about, it certainly is about being balanced, but it's also about being informed. This is wonderful. And look at you already. What grade are you in to already starting to do this research?
4th grade.
Wow, this is wonderful. What great information to inspire other classrooms around the world. Thank you.
I used to play video games a lot. I got addicted, and when I played too much, I got mad and out of control. Now I know I need to find other things to do. So I play outside, I skateboard, and build train tracks. This is media balance. I can choose my media when it's time to.
That is such a powerful message that all of us, no matter how old you are, need to hear that. Thank you.
So it doesn't matter, Eric. We're sharing about how you create a positive digital identity.
When I create a positive digital identity, I share appropriate information like my schoolwork, fun activities, and kind things. Just so I show my information about me, I made a Buncee about my summer vacation.
So once again, we use Buncee. Eric's has a little animation here we wanted to share, so you can see.
You can see me dribbling the basketball. Oh, that's not really me. It's just I dribbled the basketball this summer.
But this is you with the football.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up getting yourself in there?
So I did a tool with, as you can see, I used the green screen for a background, but then I used this app to take away the background and just put me in the Buncee background instead. So then I got the image from me throwing the football from the top and catching the football.
And Eric transferred his learning, and teachers know this is very important. So the assignment was to use the green screen and insert his picture into slides. But when doing this activity, Eric was like, hey, can I do that same thing in Buncee? And I was like, I don't know, try it. And Eric was able to transfer his learning from one tool to the next, which was really cool.
Okay. That's problem solving at its very, very best.
Absolutely. All you, Eric.
We hope you learned a lot about digital citizenship. We would like for you to #be safe online, #promote positively, and #help others. 3, 2, 1. Be respectful, be responsible. We're at be safe. Be respectful, be responsible. Here at Ruth Cheney School. Be safe, be respectful, be responsible. Here at Ruth Cheney School. Be safe, be respectful, be responsible. Here at Ruth Cheney School.
And that's it.
That was fantastic. Where is that song from?
That is our school song. Those are our Chafee Cardinal rules.
Okay, will you say the word just again?
Say the main part again. What's the first part?
Please be safe.
Please be safe.
Please be respectful. And please be responsible.
And those are our 3 main school rules.
Oh, that was fantastic, and it worked so well, both on and offline. So, you know, that was wonderful. Well, I know that the 5th graders are coming back. Tell me what your time check is for when this group has to leave.
We are okay. They just have their lunches here. They might want to go over and eat their lunches, but besides that.
You know what? Why don't they definitely eat? Because that is very important to fuel the body. And as this 5th grade class is back, then we can transition with the 5th graders sharing out what they just did with 3D Bear.
That would be awesome.
Did you hear the story that the reason why I got really interested in 3D Bear was there was a group of students in Finland. They go tell them to go get something to eat.
Okay. You guys can eat. Dr. Kurt is going to tell us about where the 3D Bear came from. Okay, so put your listening ears on while you're eating. Go ahead. Okay.
So 3D Bear, it's even on my phone so I can show you. 3D Bear is augmented reality. Now, I'm not going to pretend that that's my area of expertise. That's why I'm with Mrs. Donnelly right now here in Texas, because that is what she does. She does some really cool things with emerging technology, but I love when you can take what's happening with different contents, different interests, and you can merge digital citizenship. So this is what we're doing. I'll put the spotlight. Oh, perfect. Keep that up. That's perfect. Oh, what a nice message. Mrs. Donnelly and I right now are taking her interest in emerging technology and augmented reality specifically today, and my interest in digital citizenship, and we're merging them, which is fantastic. So 3D Bear is augmented reality, and it's an app, and I got to talk to Mrs. Bedford, so I know that she has the app on her phone, and I'll just hold my phone up so you can just see. You are able to take images and apply them into your boy, that's funny. 2 faces. That's too much for me. 1 face is enough. But you are able to add images and different items within your own location, your own sphere. So the students right now, the 5th graders, I guess they have a space outside. Here, I'll put it on me now. They have a space outside that they are reclaiming and redesigning. So the reason why I really like 3D Bear originally was there was a story about students in Finland, and they had gone to the metro station, which is the train station, and they saw that it wasn't accessible. And that's one of the digital citizenship new competencies for DigCit commit about I am inclusive, to be more inclusive. And so they redesigned the train station, their metro station, using 3D Bear, using augmented reality to make it more accessible. So it was inclusive for everyone in their community. So the part that I really love is the fact that you identify a real problem in your community, you come up with ways to solve it, and then you use technology and social media for good to inspire others to do the same thing. So that was the first time I got introduced. That particular story really resonated with me. And so this is just a great opportunity for me personally to be able to work and collaborate with my colleague and my friend, Mrs. Donnelly, to take her interest and my interest and merge them together. So I don't know, because you're all eating your lunch, but I'll ask afterwards. I'll be interested to know if your school is working on any of the global goals. And if you're not, and anybody that might be just watching us virtually, if you go to the globalgoals.org, we have the Sustainable Development Goals, which they use the acronym SDGs. And there are 17 goals. And what Mrs. Donnelly's doing right now outside with those 5th graders is taking the global goals and augmented reality and digital citizenship, combining them all together to really make a change within this community that will then be able to share out and redesign, just like the students in Finland, and inspire other classrooms, other communities around the world, locally, globally, and digitally, to do the same thing. And then I know that Mrs. Bedford knows this because, we used to always talk about it, about skipping stones. When you have a stone, and everybody, I mean, I love to skip a stone, and it has that ripple effect. Although I have to tell you, when I skip a stone, I don't know, mine kind of sometimes just plops. But I have seen others be really successful about skipping a stone, having a ripple effect. And that is what this week is all about. And I don't know if Mrs. Bedford was able to share with you already. This is Digital Citizenship Week, and we have put on our 5th annual Digital Citizenship Summit. This year, we decided to do it online during Digital Citizenship Week. But 4 years ago, I was a faculty member. I was a professor at the University of St. Joseph in West Hartford, Connecticut. Mrs. Bedford happened to be one of my students, and she was one of the presenters for our first annual Digital Citizenship Summit. So 5 years later, to have Mrs. Bedford in a classroom with all of you presenting again is really extra special for me, because the roots began in a college classroom. And if I was going to mention anybody else, and I don't know if Mrs. Bedford was in class with Mrs. Mercier, but Mrs. Mercier was also one of my graduate students, and her 3rd graders are actually the reason why I'm connected. And Mrs. Mercier's classroom is going to be connecting tomorrow. So maybe, hopefully, you'll be able to join us, even if it was just to watch the live stream when Mrs. Mercier's students present, because they're going to present on using Classcraft. And when you're done with your lunch, it'll be really interesting to know if you use Classcraft in your school. Because Mrs. Mercier is going to be taking what we call DigCit Kids, which is, why are adults always talking about student voice? Why aren't students empowering and inspiring other students? And why don't students build up other students? We have created a DigCit Kids Classcraft Quest, where we're getting great examples of students around the world using tech for good. And so anyways, both Mrs. Mercier and Mrs. Bedford both presented 4 years ago for our very first Digital Citizenship Summit. And then this week, we've hosted it online every single day. And I can tell you on the first day, we had, before the event even began, we had 55,000 students registered to join us this week. And by the end of Monday, that had jumped up to over 115,000 students. And then by the end of Tuesday, I think that again continued to jump up. Yesterday as well, because yesterday was all in Spanish. We actually had headquarters in Mexico, and all of the classroom connections were in Spanish, which was really being inclusive and inviting more people to, and more communities and students to be part of this conversation. But as of last night, we are very close to reaching and impacting 200,000 students around the world. We have 37 countries registered and joining us this week. And I'm really excited. As of this morning, before we started, I haven't checked because it's been really busy on this end, 41 states. So you think we can get the other 9 states? Because how great would that be to say that we were able to bring this message about making a commitment towards digital citizenship, which they're using that hashtag DigCit commit. And then if Mrs. Bedford hasn't done it, I really hope that she'll pull up digcitcommit.org, because we're one of the anchor organizations. We're part of this coalition, changing the narrative around digital citizenship. Instead of telling students, don't do this, don't do that, we're changing those don't statements into I will statements, and really great words of taking words and putting them into action. And if you haven't heard, I really want you to encourage Mrs. Bedford to get more students in your school involved with the DigCit Commit student challenge that is happening right now. So if you go to that website, you'll see the 5 new initiatives, which are being inclusive, informed, engaged, balanced, and alert. And there is a DigCit Commit student challenge happening. The deadline to submit is December the 1st. And mark your calendar right now, anybody watching virtually as well, February 11th and 12th, the DigCit Commit is going to the coalition. We're hosting a day and a half conference. It's going to be blended, kind of like we're here in a school and we're joining people virtually. It's going to be like that for a day and a half. And this virtual Congress, the winners will be announced. So February 11th and 12th. And the winners are actually going to be invited to go to ISTE in June. And that it happens to be ISTE, if you do not know, stands for the International Society for Technology and Education. So if you go to ISTE.org, and it's going to be in Anaheim in June. And how wonderful would it be? Because a lot of times people say, digital citizenship needs to be more than a week. I 100% agree, 100%. But what we're trying to do with our online event this week is starting to really engage in critical conversations, connect some dots, take words and put them into action. And so that actionable piece is we've got all of these different contests and challenges that are happening. There's a Buncee, there's a Flipgrid, Wakelet wants to get curators, 3D Bear, what the students are out there doing right now, that Classcraft. There are so many different things, and any of your ideas, your original ideas. I've heard from over the week, let me see how many entrepreneurial classrooms that actually have nonprofits. I want to say we have 1 tomorrow, we had 2 today. I think we've had 4 in total, and they are classrooms that run a business, a student-led business. I mean, just so many innovative ways to really inspire others. So I encourage you and hope that you will submit something for that DigCit Commit student challenge, because the deadline is December the 1st. I'm trying to see when that classroom is coming back in. Let me see if I might even have to call. I'm going to call Ghostbusters. No, not really Ghostbusters, just Mrs. Donnelly. Let me see to see if they're coming back in, so we know, because I don't want to, I know you're having lunch right now, and I think you might have been pulled from a bunch. Hi, wondering when you're coming back in. We're live, by the way. Okay, they're on their way. I said I was calling Ghostbusters, but it's really just Mrs. Donnelly and some 5th graders and 3D Bear. Okay, awesome. Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, perfect. How's that for all this technology able to? So the 5th graders are outside redesigning their space, and they'll come back in and they will share. And that's like one of the challenges. It would be great. So whatever it is, anybody that's watching virtually, whether they're watching right now or they're going to watch this after the fact, the recorded session, because all of our sessions have been live streamed, and all of them, you know, you can get the recording after the fact if you're not, especially with time zones, not everybody's able to join when something's happening live. But whatever you have fire in your belly about, that is what this is all about. Students getting excited about something that has a lot of meaning to them personally, kind of sharing that journey and that story. And then we're really showing and modeling using tech for good. And if you make that submission, whatever it might be, in fact, I could probably pull up if I screen share. Let me just even see if I've got DigCit commit. I do. I'll go screen share. Perfect. I think I'm sharing right now. Here is digcitcommit.org. And this is fabulous. I'm actually going to play it while we wait for this class to come in.
It's time to redefine the playbook and commit to a new definition of what being a digital citizen means. Today's digital citizens are inclusive and open to hearing and representing multiple viewpoints. They are informed, evaluating the accuracy and validity of digital media and social posts. Engaged, using technology and digital channels to be a force for good. Balanced, prioritizing time and activities online and off. And alert, being safe, and creating safe spaces for others online. Join the movement today at digcitcommit.org.
Okay, I'm going to move this back up here because I really love this mission statement here about what we're trying to do is prepare students to stay safe, solve problems, and become a force for good. Now, when you go to this site, you'll see right here the DigCit Commit Challenge. And this is until December the 1st. That would be absolutely fabulous to have classrooms that have joined us this week to be able to submit and be part of also that virtual Congress happening February 11th and 12th. So it looks like the students are coming back in. I'll stop sharing. And I am going to walk us over. Mrs. Bedford, if you want to, we're all coming back. And if you wanted to, Mrs. Donnelly, is there a code that I can share if Mrs. Bedford wanted to add it to any of her devices? How was it outside?
Amazing.
Oh, I love that. Amazing. It was cold? No, you don't know cold. I'm from Massachusetts.
I was just going to ask that. What is it actually like there? Because it's pretty brutal today.
50 degrees. What's it there in Connecticut?
Oh, 50. Yeah, we're probably about the same, but our winds are very strong here. We had quite the storm last night here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it rained buckets.
And in the classroom, the lights flickered a little bit. It was scary.
All right, now our time to talk.
Okay, I'm going to put you on with Mrs. Donnelly to get you a code if you wanted to try this.
Okay. The code is 1P69. T is in Tom, M is in Mary, the number 2, and M is in Mary. And you can put in for the.
Hey, should we put it in even in for the chat? So
sure.
Here we go.
And then when you put in the student name, like the nickname, you could put in student 1 through 13. So student 1, student 2, it has to be all lowercase and no spaces.
Do you need us
Okay. Are we putting that into the app on the iPad, or are we putting that into a website?
Into the app. So you'll
Okay.
see as a student.
You're going to be a
as
student
a login
right now.
As a login.
Yes.
So.
And the login.
Student login.
Login starts right.
And then the class ID.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Give us a second. We're going to set these up.
Okay, awesome.
All right,
While you're setting that up, let's hear from what you just all did.
All right. Does anybody want to share a little bit about what you thought when you went down there? You raise your hand. What do you think?
I think that maybe the water needs to keep running
because
it's off. Maybe there needs to be a shed to find the tools that could help it with it. And maybe more flowers, more of wildlife.
Were you guys surprised? Did you even know that existed down there?
Yes.
Some of you had maybe seen it.
I saw it in first grade.
Oh, when it first got built.
Is it supposed to be like a classroom outside?
Yeah.
It's a nature center and it's a waterfall that was built.
Whoa.
It's supposed, you know, the frogs and the tadpoles, so that it would be a living nature center.
All right, have something.
Well, I think that this is the very beginning of it having a revitalized.
Well, that was the interesting part, is they said, I was really surprised what the space looked like. Like it was just not well maintained. And we had a discussion. Tell me your name. Adeline. And I was talking to Adeline and she goes, you know, it's really sad. And I go, well, you know, what could we do about this? And she said, I don't know. It needs to get, you know, it needs to get updated. It needs to get fixed. Somebody needs to work on it. And I go, well, who can do that? She goes, maybe us kids. And I go, yeah, like perfect idea. My head's cut off. That's okay. But I was like, you know, yes, perfect idea. That, you know, sometimes that service project from our community, that will start something when the kids invest into it. You guys care about it. When you care about it, you maintain it. And when you maintain it, other people want to help maintain that. So that absolutely could be the start of them having their outdoor classroom and access to learning, really in a beautiful scene. It's really pretty and really sad kind of that we missed out on the opportunity to use it as much as we could have. But
it's provided us a great opportunity to see their power.
That's right.
Right.
So I'm going to go to your designs here.
Let's see, do I have
All
this
right,
well?
so sometimes some of these pictures, it's okay if it's some, look at that. We can have animals. Do you already have animals living out there? Yes. Absolutely. Sure. So what actually could that water provide?
Water,
plants.
That's right. I mean, that could be a place for them. So think about the impact on even the animal life in this area, how that maybe affected that. So some of these, oh, look at that.
Now, can you see for Mrs. Bedford's classroom, like can you tell the difference between what is, I don't know, do I say reality and augmented reality?
Yeah.
Like what has been added?
So this used to be a stream here.
Yes.
And
yeah.
then here used to be water. And it's all from now. Just and I've and I think that's something you need down there. Was when you put down on the ground, you know, well, what if it's kind of wet? Then we're probably not going to put down there if we have no place to sit. Maybe having a bench out there or something of the sort to have access to.
So it would be a living classroom that you can. Oh, I think there's a chicken. Can you see that? There was a chicken, a lion on my head.
Later. Let's see, let me go back.
Let's see, Mrs. Bedford, was that successful to get in?
No, it was not, unfortunately.
Okay.
What was the code again?
So 1, P is in Paul.
Yep. Yep.
Give me one sec. 6, 9.
Yep.
T is in Tom. M is in Mary. 2. And M is in Mary. And it has to be student 1 or student 2 or student 3, no spaces and all lowercase.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's see if that works. Student 4.
Did you guys see out here? We have
lowercase.
out here exploring with maybe a shed. Somebody mentioned that down there, having a shed. That was learning.
No, the code is not working.
Oh.
That's okay. We're gonna try the tool out without connecting, I guess.
Well, you can still use, you can definitely, I'm just going to get on. You can definitely still use the tool. It would have just been cool to have been within the classroom.
That's something I didn't even think about until.
But I felt like I need to put more animals in this place. So I put some wildlife, some bears, some predators, some.
Do we have bears out here?
No.
No. And why don't we do?
We do.
Yes, I have a neighbor who talked about, she lived right off of the other side of White Oak Road, close to George Ritchie, where there's a wooded area. And she saw 2 baby bears out there.
No kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, we also saw a lot of deer. My mom used to have a fox, and we've seen rabbits.
Yeah, definitely. All of those.
Oh,
are
wow.
actually
Look at this one where you've added the animals. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And well, we thought about this afterwards, thinking what animals are affected by there not being running water there now. It's like that wasn't even a thought when we were talking about it being overgrown or not being available. So we definitely have. I love it. Definitely like having that. I saw one and I really hope it syncs up. There was one out there that was just gorgeous.
Was it mine?
There was one that
Is it this?
Adeline. Yes, Adeline, did that get shared to us?
Yeah, it says save.
Can you come up here and show your
How about this?
laptop?
Let me see it real quick. I'll plug it in.
It wasn't syncing.
Oh, okay. It might just be the internet, might be the timing, how long it's taken to sync, because we left somewhere and then came back. But I really like this one because it showed a couple different things in this scene. It showed wildlife, but it also showed some new greenery, which would be interesting to add different types of plants, right? And then also some sitting area, some more blocks and brick there. We see even some trees, right? And a shed to be able to store some of those items that you need to actually garden. You guys, you have the power to do something really cool out there. And us adults can sit back and say, boy, that's too bad that's overgrown. But you guys could take this and you guys can turn that into a really neat place that kids beyond you, when you guys move to junior high next year, those kids that get to keep coming back and they take ownership of it, that would be such a cool thing to really be empowered with.
Think you could pull the weight?
Yeah.
And you know what is happening right now, because we are connecting virtually, is here you are going to solve a problem in your own community, but by connecting and using technology the way that we are right now, we are going to inspire students to look at their communities. What can they solve? And 3D Bear just happens to be just one wonderful way to use augmented reality to redesign, repurpose space and re-envision. So this has been, like, I know that Mrs. Bedford, I don't know if you've been able to play it all with 3D Bear. Oh, it looks like I can see them. I can see them all like walking around with devices. Let me, we'll put them on larger.
Wait.
Yeah, so we're playing with it. We can't
use it.
Save it or share it, but we are playing with it. And we're working in partnership, some of us. Where's my camera? There they are.
Guys, I need a laptop.
You can hear that the learning is very loud.
How great would it be if this is connection in this particular school in Texas.
Right.
What do you think? It could just be the very, very beginning. So can you see what?
I love the idea.
Okay, well, this is, let's make sure I will connect you. They're waving. I will we'll connect, make sure that you're all connected, because we could continue this 3D bear project. And I don't know if there's any space in your own school community that could have a redesign, but how great would that be that both classrooms will be inspiring each other?
You have a few minutes to end with your presentation on digital citizenship. Would you
Okay,
guys like
well,
to
you
be a
know
part
what?
of that?
You can, Jamie, you can end there because they've been on. You could end,
Okay.
we can end our whole fourth day.
Yeah.
We can end for now. And it was wonderful. I hope you can jump on with us tomorrow. We'll continue to have shared DigCit impact talks. We have our tweet and talk panel tonight about global collaboration with EduMatch. We thank Buncee for powering us, and we really thank I want to make sure I got it, White Oaks Independent School District for hosting us here today.
Yeah.
We are going to be with parents tonight as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a chat tonight. ISTE is hosting a chat at DigCit Commit Chat this evening as well. So lots of great stuff continuing to happen during DigCit week. So thank you.
Yay. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Bye-bye.
Perfect.